We get a reunion between two sisters. Baba Voss has to make a tough decision, and the children approach the House of Enlightenment. We're going to talk about that and much more. Episode 7 of See, titled The Lavender Road, the twins reach a crossroads in their journey to the House of Enlightenment. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Elliot back again with my weekly recap / review / breakdown of the latest episode of AppleTV See. Now, before we dive into this spoiler discussion, I definitely want to wish all those that are celebrating the holiday a happy holidays to you and your family, and I'm very excited to share my thoughts with you all on this episode. But before we dive into the review, definitely consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that bell so you can stay up to date with my latest See reviews and all my Apple TV Plus reviews, as well as my other TV reviews, movie reviews, and all the fun stuff we do on this channel. And if and when you've seen this episode of See, I got to know what you all are thinking of this episode in the comments below. Let's have some fun discussions down there. So, overall thoughts before I dive into my review. I really enjoyed this episode. If you all watched my review last week, I was a little underwhelmed by the episode, but this one definitely kind of gives me a little bit more of the story, a little bit more of the information that we need. Some relationships finally in, some developments are taking place. So I really enjoyed this episode, and we're going to dive into it right now, kind of recapping the episode. So it starts off with the witch hunter from last week. You know, he still has Boots, he still has Magra, and, you know, the witch hunter has these shadow women that are from that camp that Queen Kane are at. He gets information out of the Shadow Women by his methods of torture, and, you know, he finds out where she is, but he definitely questions, should Boots go with them? And Magra, you know, attests that, yes, he can come along, I can trust him. But one of the things that I really, noticed, and I really don't bring up too often in my reviews, is the beauty of this show. You know, this show, again, hit or miss with some of the storylines, but there's some shots in this episode, these sweeping landscaping shots that are gorgeous. And again, I don't bring it up too often, but there's two consistencies, I should say three. I really enjoyed Baba Voss's, character, played by Jason Momoa. You know, there are some interesting storylines, but definitely consistency. Jason Momoa, the beautiful shots, the landscaping shots, the sceneries and everything that we get in the action. Those are some three consistent things that I really enjoyed about this show. But as I digress, we kind of, going back to it, we see Baba Voss, on their journey. There's, two storylines that we're watching, Magra and everything with the queen, and then we're watching Baba Voss taking the children to their father. So we see Baba Voss is coughing up blood. I assume that's from the last week's episode where he took some wounds, and we saw him climbing up the cave, and so I wonder if there's some internal bleeding. I hope it's not alluding to some disease or anything of him being potentially killed off at the end of the season because he is the lead. But I just assume that's just like a wound that will probably be gone by next episode. But we see that there because they really don't touch on it again, other than a couple hints from Paris. But we go back to Queen Kane's situation. We see that she's continuing to get beaten, she's continuing to get tortured, and we see all this stuff there. And it's in those moments, I question myself, and let me know in the comments, do you guys feel bad for Queen Kane, especially, as I continue my breakdown here? Do you think the show is trying to make us feel bad for her and feel a certain way? I just want to know you guys' thoughts on the situation, because again, I compare it to last week where, like, Game of Thrones, I think of Game of Thrones where they tried to make Jaime Lannister seem a little bit more vulnerable when he was captured by those people in season 2 when he got his hand chopped off. I'm wondering, is this show trying to do a similar thing where they're trying to make us feel from Queen Kane? But I want to know what you all are thinking in the comments below. So as we fast forward, going back to Baba Voss, we see Hanawa and Kofu finally kind of discussing things. And, last couple episodes, they've been really at throats with each other, really haven't had a discussion, but they kind of have a sit down and talk about their father, the real father. And, Kofu still, he tells his sister to lower her expectations because they don't really know what to expect from the dad. They never met him before. And we see Hanawa continues to kind of keep having, these hopes that their dad's going to be who she wants him to be. So that was really interesting. They finally kind of have a discussion and not really be at each other's throats as they have been in the last few episodes. So going back to Baba Voss in Paris, they have a discussion about his past. And it's actually in that moment when I kind of put the pieces together that Boots and Baba Voss have a lot more in common than they do, than they think they do, in regards to how Boots was kind of brought up and kind of how he is now. Didn't really have a father, and his mom kind of betrayed him. Kind of sounds like that happened to Baba Voss, and they have a lot of things in common there. And hopefully they kind of put those pieces together. So we kind of go along the journey. We see that they find this kind of disgusting flesh shrine of people, and it has a warning there for them. But they continue to move forward on their journey, which was very interesting there. And it was also in that moment when I just realized the Shadow Woman still with this group with Baba Voss and the kids in Paris. It's just like, what is the purpose of her? And we're going to talk about her a little bit later, but I was just like, I keep forgetting that she's on this journey with them. But, you know, we go back, the witch hunter finds the queen. He takes out all the guards. He gets caught, but they take him out pretty easily. That was a pretty cool scene because, you know, the witch hunter, he's a kind of an anti-hero that the show's that's one storyline that's kind of been shifting in my opinion. You know, I haven't really been on gear with Queen Kane having that switch in character, but I definitely could see the witch hunter kind of getting that anti-hero type of category, at least in my opinion. But, you know, he saves the queen. You know, they have their discussion. It's at that moment that we get that reunion between Magra and Queen Kane. You know, Queen Kane reveals that she took out their whole village and why she did it, and the witch hunter was not happy about that. You know, he's telling her, you know, you want me to tell my men that's been on the road for 20 years that you killed their family? So we're going to get that switch in the character there. He's saying now he's reconsidering her being the queen, which is the first time he said that in a long time, according to him. So that's an interesting storyline there in regards to the witch hunter and Magra and him wanting her to be queen, and she wants her family, and then obviously what's going to happen with Queen Kane. Some very interesting storylines, and like I said, I really enjoyed this episode. So kind of finishing up this recap here, we see Baba Voss sees danger ahead. The shadow woman, you know, calls out the people, the arrow, which was a pretty cool scene. Again, consistency. The action in this show is very great, in my opinion. You know, Baba Voss is Daredevil 2.0 in this show. He throws his little, you know, his weapon and knocks him out, and they have a little battle there, but we established that these guards, if you want to call them that, are part of, you know, the Enlightenment, the House of Enlightenment. And they tell them, hey, if you want to move forward, you want to see your dad, only Hanawa and Kofu can move forward. And that's where we have that kind of emotional moment where Baba Voss tells them that we're not different, even though Hanawa kind of takes shots at her dad, right? Kind of throws some shade. Oh, he doesn't, you know, he can't, we're different. But it's just like, hey, this guy's been taking care of you. Nevertheless, they have that emotional moment. Paris says their goodbyes. You know, the shadow woman has the arrow on her leg and they carry her back. But it's at that moment like, oh, Baba Voss is really leaving them. But no, we know that's not the case. Baba tells Paris that they're gonna stay close, which was a really cool little moment for me personally. It's always Baba Voss is a badass. Again, consistency. Jason Momoa has been great in the show in my opinion. But you know, we see the kids, they approach the House of Enlightenment, which, you know, the show ends in that moment. And that's where it's just like, okay, this is their moment. Is their father going to be everything that Hanawa wants him to be? Is going to be where Kofu thinks? I personally think, and I want to know you guys' thoughts in the comments, that he's not going to be everything that they're expecting to be. He's going to probably be a bad guy. In hindsight, he's probably going to be the big villain of this season, per se, as we look at him as this kind of prophet and this person that's giving all these children sight and impregnating all these women across the world. But I think he's going to end up being a bad guy. That's just my personal thoughts. But let me know what you all think of their father and what's going to end up happening when they meet him. And is Baba Voss going to have to take him out in the most violent way possible? So I really enjoyed this episode. I thought that they really established a couple different storylines that are very interesting. The witch hunter and Queen Kane, Magra maybe being the queen, of course Boots in his situation, Baba Voss and his kids and all that stuff. Some really interesting stuff that took place in this episode, and I really enjoyed it. But I do these reviews to know what you all thought of it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this latest episode of See, and if you're excited for next week's episode, and let me know in the comments your theories and what you hope to see as we wrap up this season. Give this video a thumbs up. Of course, share this video, and like I said up top, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you can stay up to date with all my reviews. Keep an eye out for my review for the morning show, which I'll be having coming up pretty soon, and check out all my movie reviews I did in the last couple days from Queen and Slim, Knives Out, and The Irishman on Netflix. So check out all that content. Follow us on social media. Thank you all for watching this review, and we'll see you in the next video.